Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Motivation for Young Christians. Welcome back, welcome back. Today, guys, we have a very special guest in the building. I will let him introduce himself.
What's going on? Odell Bizzell here, a professional speaker and marketing coach. Just excited to be here, share space and time with you. And yeah, Esron, man, thanks for having me on.
It's amazing to have you on. Thank you so much for coming. I just want to give a big shout out to Derice for setting up this interview today. Big shout out to you, Gio, for all the help that you do behind the scene with me. Big shout out to him. Guys, today we have a total of 6 questions that we will be asking and then being answered by Odell. So without further ado, let's get straight into the questions for today. So question number 1. What are some obstacles you faced during your journey of getting where you are today?
It's a great question. And I think first, just to let everybody know kind of where I am today, right now I run a multiple six-figure business where I speak. So I sell speaking and consulting services and coaching services. And that's essentially what I do. And so I work with anywhere from small to larger corporations selling speaking services. They hire me to come speak or they hire me for consulting. And I work with high level entrepreneurs, small business owners, experts, coaches, and I help them build their business through public speaking. So that's kind of where I am today. Some things that kind of caused me to get here, I would say that our upbringing is everything. So I have to give a shout out to my parents. Shout out to my grandparents. Currently recording this from my grandma's basement. It's where my office is. Just everybody's always supported me. I know some people, depending on where they come from, right? They have the teacher told them that they weren't going to be anything, or they had a broken, fragmented home or something like that. I never had that experience, and I don't say that to say that if you had that experience that you have an advantage or you have a disadvantage. But I think most things in life, Esron, are about perspective, is about how you think about it. And so on one side, somebody could use somebody talking down on them as motivation. On another side, people could use somebody talking down to them as a reason for them to fail. And so I just took all the good stuff and used it to catapult myself. And so I've been able to, through the skill of public speaking, been able to grow my business and make over $1 million in my career so far. And we're only going up, man. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And just give you a little backstory about me. Challenge my obstacles that I faced in life actually led me into becoming a YouTuber and becoming a videographer, and then going into public speaking, both in motivational speaking and preaching. So I use that fuel that I use the hate, which as in the fuel, to drive me to be where I am today. So everybody have different obstacles, different key factors that led into who they are today, into their profession, because it's a very unique thing. We don't have to stick to one thing. That I grew up in the hood. They was shooting everywhere. Like everybody does not have that type of not outcome, but upbringing. We all have different things, but it's not where you came from, it's where you are today and how you've used them lessons that you grew up with.
Yeah, for sure. And I think back to the question of obstacles, I would say the biggest obstacle I had was the ease of mediocrity. Um, Sometimes when you've been at a certain place and you're comfortable, you just want to stay there. And some people, that maybe they have the Drake started from the bottom, now we here type thing. But I think a lot of people, Ezron, they kind of start in the middle. And maybe they're close to the bottom, but it kind of starts in the middle. And that was an obstacle, man, because if you know for certain, if you're certain that you can, make $50,000 a year and be comfortable, it's a lot easier to, yeah, I think I'll settle for that. That was an obstacle. Also, and I tell people this all the time, and I don't know if they don't believe me or they don't really get it, but I was broke all of my 20s. All of my 20s, I was broke. And I started building my family. I got married to my wife when I was 22, she was 21. So we're young, married, broke. And then I'm sitting here talking about how I want to, make $1 million and do all these crazy things. And that was a huge obstacle, not in a bad way, but when you're building with somebody else and you can't just, well, I'm just going to go here and do this. You have to consider somebody else. That was an obstacle. I went bankrupt when I was 24. So that was another obstacle. I had my identity stolen when I was 24. So by somebody that was actually pretty close to my family. So like obstacles happen, but again, that goes back to the word perspective. Yeah, it's how you look at it. And I think a lot of people that look at their obstacles as something to get them gone instead of something to get them going.
Ooh, and I feel like that's a very powerful message. Use your obstacles to get you going, not to draw you away. A very, very powerful message right there. And I know you talked a little bit about your personal life, which will actually lead us into our second question. How do you balance your work life with your personal life?
You don't. I think you have to learn how to allow them to coexist. I've since my wife has known me, I've kind of been a go getter, somebody that has always wanted to make a lot of money, have my own business. So it's kind of like I manage it by seasons. So I know I'm going to be busy during this season, and I just tell my wife, look, this season, I'm gonna be out and about. Like she knows as of this recording, this is we're in the month of March. I don't have a lot of traveling to do this month, but April, I'm gonna be traveling. I already told her, I said I'm gonna be home until April. But once April hits, I'm gonna be gone. So just get used to that. And that's kind of where the quote unquote balance is. I think but balance is also about progression. So when you're doing everything yourself, when you are a solopreneur, when you're trying to come up and do everything yourself, you have to be out of balance to make sure that you're making money. Make sure that bank balance goes up. You got to be a little bit out of balance. And so once you start, and I have a small team that I'm growing, once I have other people to help me do those things, then I can better schedule time. But I've got a great support system. Like I said, my wife has been there with me. She supported me even when it didn't make sense to support me, even when she probably didn't even believe all the way. She supported me. So having that anchor there helps. My kids don't know any different. My oldest is 12 years old, and I've been full time entrepreneur since she was 3 years old, 4 years old. So this is all that they know that I do. So my family is pretty understanding. As long as we can get, the date nights and the vacations and all that stuff, they're good. But anybody searching for balance, you're gonna be out of balance. You're going to be out of balance. You're going to be a little obsessive, especially if you're trying to build a business. If you're in ministry, you're going to be a little bit obsessive, trying to make sure that you get your footing and all that stuff. So don't look at it as, oh my gosh, I have to keep everything balanced. Just look at it as I have to be fulfilled and I have to take time to rest. So that's what I would say about balance.
And I fully understood your point because especially with me, I'm a full-time student. And then I'm also full time, well, not full time YouTuber because I only upload 2 times a week, but I'm a full time YouTuber as in like I'm fully committed to this process. And then all the positions that I have within the church ministry and just everything else that sometimes there isn't no balance between my work life and my personal life because it's just there. And with me creating videos and doing this type of stuff for the last 6 years, it's kind of normal to me. So kind of like with how with your kids, it's normal for their father to be busy doing going to these events, doing all that. It's normal to me at this point. Like I actually don't remember a time where I was not making videos, where I was not speaking. So with balancing my schedule, it works better because it wasn't like something I just started and I had to learn how to balance it. I've been doing this since sixth grade. I'm in 12th grade right now. I've been doing this for the last 6 years. So it's just automatically in my life, like, bam, we got to do this, we got to do that. So it's a balance there, as in, I've been so used to doing everything that it's normal. but then it gets out of balance because sometimes the schedule get crazy, and I still got to do stuff. I got video study, but I got school in the morning. I got a thumbnail to create, but I got school in the morning. And then after I come home from school, I got homework. I may got a video to edit, but I got homework. It's a lot, but if you put your hard work into it, and just don't beat yourself up, and have patience with yourself and time management, and let your passion drive everything, you'll be all right. And this will move us into our third question for today. I know, especially the last 2 years, the topic of mental health has been a very important topic. Paying attention to not only your work life, but pay attention to who you are, how do you feel, and how different stuff affect you. So, how important is your mental health when it comes to your working life or your just overall life?
Yeah, I think mental health is everything. Just like your physical health, health is your wealth. And if your mind's not right, then nothing else can be right. I remember back in the day going to church with my grandma and my aunties, and somebody would always testify and say, thank the Lord I woke up in my right mind. You know what I mean? I woke up in my right mind. And when you're a little kid, you're like, what? Why do you need to wake up in your right mind? I get it. I get it now. Life, it throws a lot at you, especially this generation. You have so many more things coming at you. And because your mind does not do well at filtering stuff out, everything, every piece of information, every piece of data that comes across your eyes, that comes across your senses, your brain takes it in. Every single thing. And this generation, especially Esron, especially like y'all's age, y'all got the phone, y'all got the computer, y'all got the streaming services, y'all got the smart devices, y'all got the iPad, y'all got the everything, right? You have all these different things coming at you, and so your brain picks up on that. And since it's your brain's job to keep you alive, it's trying to filter out all that stuff, and it can't. And so I think mental health is as much as making sure you know how you feel about things, but also filtering things so that your mind is not overwhelmed. I think right now we are in a generation of overwhelm. There's so much stuff. And the things that are going to stop us from achieving our dreams are not really the obstacles, are not the disadvantages, they're the distractions from doing what you know you have to do. So I think mental health is critical. Anybody listening, I would say do yourself this favor and procrastinate on your pleasures as much as possible. And what I mean by that is go the whole day without watching TV, just the whole day, and then give yourself a treat at the end of the day after you wash. If you're a night showerer or whatever, you wash, you get in bed, then watch some television or something that'll allow you to come down, but don't engage in it. And you can go a step further if you want to supercharge your achievement. Just only program your mind with positivity and different things like that, because your brain, it takes it all in, and the weeds of everything that's going on, they grow in your brain, and if you're not too late, they're going to choke out the harvest that your good labor can produce. So make sure that you are filtering out those things. And that I have to do that as somebody that's a professional speaker, somebody that coaches. I spill out, and we all spill out what we're full of. So I can't fill up on the junk of the news, their wars. We know that, and we pray for those people and all that. But there's nothing we can do outside of pray for them. We pray for them, and we get as wealthy as we possibly can to help. And so filter out that stuff and don't flood your mind with all the distractions.
Definitely, and I agree on that point. If you can get counseling, you can get therapy, those different things. Even if you're not a traumatized person, because I believe everybody should do therapy or counseling at some point in their life, because I know, especially in the Black and the Caribbean community, we are all traumatized without realizing it. Like, we are all traumatized in some way, some shape or form. So we're going to therapy, going to counseling, we're understanding how different things affect you in your life because um we're growing up. A lot of things that you saw growing up, it was normal to you. So you never made that connection that, oh, wait, that was a traumatic moment. And not even just for black people, just everybody in general. Like we all grew up seeing something that was normal that's not normal, that's bad. And through therapy and counseling, you're able to realize that okay, I witnessed this at a young age, and I didn't even know. So I recommend everybody to do counseling or therapy at some point in their life. Learn about the different things that you've been through, how they affect you, and learn how to better cope with your emotion and how to handle your emotion. Because emotional learning is one thing that a lot of people are not taught how to probably handle your emotion. And you're gonna need this for the workplace because it's gonna be someday where you irritated, but you gotta go to work and you can't spill off that irritation at work because guess what? You're gonna get fired. Gas prices going up. So right now it's not a good time to get fired, especially if you got a car. Gas prices going up, and then with the whole figuring out whether we gonna go into a war and that, that's a whole nother conversation. But the fact is just learning how to properly handle yourself, learning how your traumas, your pain, your hurt affect you, learning how the littlest thing in your life can have the biggest impact. And like for me, my bullying experience, I never realized how much that had an impact on me. I think that's probably the most impactful thing in my life. But through the pandemic, I was able to understand that, okay, these are the good things that came out of me being bullied. But these are the bad things because I paid attention to me being able to start YouTube, getting into preaching, getting into motivational speaking, getting into being an editor, a videographer, a graphic designer. I paid attention to all the good things that came out of that experience, but I didn't pay attention to the traumas that came with it. How the way I treat people came out of it, my attitude, but it's a lot of things that me doing a self-reflection came out of it. So I very much recommend everybody to learn how to probably handle your emotion, do therapy, do counsel at some point in your life to learn how things affect you and how to better cope and operate in this world, because you can't not function because it's gonna affect so much thing in your life, especially if in your workplace, because gas prices are going up. This was it for the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Please turn on your post notification. That way, anytime I upload a video, YouTube will send you a notification. This is Motivation for Young Christian. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.